When our little girl was born, we got a Subaru. It's where she said her first word.
No.
Saw her first day of school.
Bye-bye.
Made a best friend forever.
Oh my.
The back seat of my Subaru is where she grew up.
What?
The 2015 Subaru Forester.
What?
Built to be there for your family. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
University Subaru.
The wise choice!
Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Wednesday, May the 13th. We have a retired professor, University of Missouri, Mel Zelenak with us. Good to have you here.
Again.
Retired professor. Consumer and travel tips, our topic today, right?
Correct. We're going to focus in mostly on travel tips today.
Yeah, since we're going into that time of year, people are thinking about their vacations, on who better to pass along some good information than Mel Zelenak, who's been around the world 50 million times.
No.
Many times.
We just got back from Europe, though, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
So, and the neat thing about this area and why I get so excited about so many things in consumer and travel tips is you learn something every day. I mean, I'm 50 years old.
Oh, come on, Mel. 50 pushing 70.
And yeah, and that's, as a matter of fact, I am 70.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
I'm younger than you are.
I turned 70 April 25th.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Well, the two things that I learned on this most recent vacation is read the fine print. Now, I've told you that 1,000 times.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't read the fine print on something here, and like they used to say with the old radio shows, the big print gives it to you, and the small print takes it away.
Yeah.
And in this one, it says prepayment, there's no deposit will be charged. So I thought, no problem. If I want to cancel it at any time, no problem at all.
You actually did it. This was a booking that you made.
This was a booking I made for myself.
Okay. And it said what?
It said no deposit will be charged. And that was totally correct. They didn't charge a deposit. They charged the full amount.
They charged the full amount?
If you didn't cancel that day, the smaller print says, if I didn't cancel that day, I would pay basically 70 euros for this, which was almost the full amount of the entire reservation. And that's
so in the big print, it says, no deposit will be charged. In small print,
it says from April 2nd, 3:59 p.m., which is exactly the time I booked it, the charge is 70 euros, which is, as you can see, almost the entire amount.
So they weren't lying, but you didn't read everything.
That's right.
And you had no legal recourse to this, do you?
Well, in this case, it worked out fine because we did go ahead and book this. But so many times I'll do a backup booking, and we've talked about that before. Right. You just have to read the fine print. Now, conversely, I made another one with Starwood Hotels, and that clearly says there is no charge if you cancel this.
Within 3 days or before your booking.
This one, within
3 days before your arrival.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is with most of the hotels. That when you book it, it'll say cancel within 72 hours, or some are 24
and
hours,
that's
some
fair.
are 40.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Otherwise, you will be charged for one night.
Correct.
Yeah. So you got to read all the fine print.
Got to read the fine print. And another thing, and this didn't happen to me, I was just thinking of it, I always get my confirmations, and I always get them in writing, okay? And it's only happened to us once in our travels where they said, we lost your confirmation. And what they did is they were oversold, and they said, we don't even have a booking for you. Well, I pulled out my confirmation, and
you had
obviously
it. They had it.
They had it, and they honored it at that time. That was in London, actually.
But if you had not had your confirmation in writing, you would have had no proof whatsoever that you really did have a booking, and you would have been out of luck.
Correct. And I could have come home and complained about it and whatever, but that would be a waste of time.
Yeah, and that does happen from time to time.
Sure does. So keep your confirmations, keep them handy with you. And one of our favorite topics, other than financial planners, is collision damage waivers.
Yeah.
And
That's when you rent a car and they try to sell you the collision damage waiver, which can be as high as $15 to $20 a day.
well, even this one was $28 a day.
$28 a day.
Yes.
That can add that can add 200 and some odd dollars if it's 10 days or so.
Now, what if you're in Europe, Paul? What about, would you get collision damage waiver in
I would
Europe?
check with my local insurance company first.
My insurance company did not cover Europe.
In Europe. So then you got a problem. Your credit card. The credit
Wow.
card. Most
Good job.
credit cards will take care of the collision damage waiver for you.
I don't know if I would go that far.
Well, check with your credit
Some,
card.
yes.
I know the two that I have specifically state that it takes care of the automobile, as long
Okay.
as you put the rental on that credit card.
Now, is that American Express, by the way?
No, it's not. It's a Visa card.
Okay. And the point I'm trying to make here is, even if it's American Express and you think that because you have a Visa card, that all Visa cards are going to cover the collision damage waiver, that's not the case.
No, it has to be specifically for your card.
All right.
And you'll have it down in your little booklet that they...
Okay, but a lot of people don't read that. And I want to tell you, I don't read it
I
that
do.
often. Great.
I read it all.
Right.
Right.
Well, and you can, and the point is, you can go online and check these out as well. In my case, for example, we took 3 cards with us. The first one was a MasterCard because it was American Airlines MasterCard, and they covered the collision damage waiver. Amex did not. American Express did not. The second one, there's no transaction fees, exchange rate fees on Southwest Airlines credit card, which I think is again it's MasterCard.
But those are things that you need to check out, and you can save a great deal of money. I mean, you think about if you purchase that collision damage waiver, you're adding substantially to your car rental.
I know we're running out of time, but maybe the most substantive tip I can give you is one that we alluded to a while back, and that is, don't presume conventional wisdom as far as airfares are concerned, or as far as much travel is concerned. Let me give you an example.
Okay, you've got 15 seconds.
Okay, you could save, let's see, $3,372 on the exact same flight by going through an air consolidator than going through Expedia, for example.
Okay, check it out.
Check it
You
out.
have to check it all out. Mel Zelenak, thank you so much for coming by. Always
Great
a pleasure
seeing you,
to have
Paul.
you here. And I learned something every time you're here.
I do too, Paul. Thank you.
Okay, all right, let's see. Tomorrow, Thursday, a special fundraiser on conservation. Our program directed by Travis McMillen, Reynolds Journalism Institute. Audio is Pat Akers from KBIA. Our floor director is Brendan McDermott, and our assistant producer and guest coordinator, Uncle James Moss. We'll see you.